Talk is cheap because there's more supply than demand. So there's one thing if we're all talking like, hey, this is what we're going to do in 2021. This is what we're going to do. We're going to lose weight. We're going to save more money. We're going to grow our business. But if we don't actually have an ability to back that up, you're just talking, you're making yourself feel good, but 3 weeks from now, everything's going to go back to the same. And so EOS for us is to say, we want to be the company that is optimistic. We want to be the company that is passionate. We want to be the company that serves powerfully. And we want to be the company that actually can get our stuff done. This is Better Wealth with Caleb Guilliams. 2020 is finally in the books. Welcome to 2021. This is going to be the podcast that explains where Better Wealth is going in 2021. Welcome to another episode of the Better Wealth podcast. Man, I'm so excited. It's been a crazy year. And now this has been the day that I think a lot of people feel the most inspired because they're like, I'm going to change all these things. You see gym, well, which is interesting because I don't think gyms are going to be thriving. I do not think this is the year for gyms to thrive. But you just see a lot of people taking, they're very much reflecting on what the new year is going to hold. And I think we very much buy into this idea of, okay, intentional living. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with my time? What am I going to do with my money? How am I going to treat the people that I love the most in my life? And so this is one of my favorite times of the year, and also one of my most hated times of the year because you get so many people that will fizzle out in 2 weeks from now. So what I want to do is I am making this as number one, an encouragement. Our whole goal as a company is we want to be the key that helps you unlock intentional living. Like straight up, that's like very much, I have to give a shout out to Rich Keller. He's very much been influential in that. But think of Better Wealth as the key to help you live intentionally. Like, yes, we're doing some really cool things from investments to the and asset to a financial x-ray to our unlimited and model process. Like I am stoked for what's to come. But at the end of the day, if we don't help you unlock intentional living, we are not living up to what we want to do for the public, and we're not going to be valuable, and we will in a sense go out of business because we're very much of like, how can we create value, and through that, can we just dominate in a world where I feel like is nickel and diming people and is not providing crazy amounts of value. Like, just wait till you hear some of the things that we're going to have come up. And I'm just really fired up for what's to come because the ability to serve people and help people live intentionally is great. What's hard is tracking all the intentional living that's going on in the world. It was fun. I got to catch up with someone that is actually going through our unlimited process. They've been a client for about a year now. And it was so cool to see what this person's doing. Just got a new house, starting some businesses. Like, it was so excited. Like, 2020 has been the roughest year for a lot of people, and this person's having their best year yet. And it was crazy to see the optimism. I'm not going to take credit for any of that person's success other than the fact that I think we're giving certainty, and we gave him the permission to start invest in the things that are going to help him produce the most for his family. And so he bought into ROR. He has the financial model and is able to do some really cool things. So what you can expect from this episode is get the overview of what we're headed for in 2021. I still got to get used to saying that. So I want to be very open. Like, this is what we're hoping for in quarter one. And I'm excited to share this because part of me sharing this is keeping us accountable to what we're doing. And so without further ado, we had our whole team meet. Some were virtually, some got to meet in person. And we just really laid out, like, we looked back on our last year. And I will have to say, this last year has been a huge blessing because in the midst of an economic meltdown and panic, and there were 2 months that I was like, is anyone going to move forward on anything? We had our best year yet. We grew our team from like 3 or 4 core people to now we have over 16 people, either part-time or full-time for Better Wealth, like internal Better Wealth. And we went from, early on me meeting with a lot of people, from me not meeting with any new person, just being still involved in the back office at some point, but really saying, if we're going to serve people well, like, we need to actually be intentional about coaching. We also we're able to implement our financial model. A shout out to Dave Anderson, the creator of Lifetime Income Process. Like, we very much embraced, his amazing financial model and have been able to do hundreds of models for people and show people exactly what they need to be doing. No more guessing anymore. Now it's like looking at the math and saying, this is where you're currently at. And like, we can model different decisions about what you should do with your house, what you should do with your business, what you should do with this product. And it's been a game changer, because it's then taking away, quote unquote, my charisma or someone else's on my team charisma, and saying, we're going to shift it back to something that actually works day in and day out and is really the mirror. So that's been huge for our business. And then we've just done a lot of and assets. We've done a lot of unlimited clients. Like, it's just been just really cool to serve people in that capacity. And we're at a point where it's like, okay, what does it look like to grow for the future? And I really believe that we can 5x our company and our impact, because 2020, while it was a year of growth, it was a year of growth growing our team. And I really have this mindset of like, if we can build the dream team, we will be able to serve people at such an incredible level. And so that's exactly what we did. Is we have the people in place. Jeremy as our head coach, and Dom and Demetrius, like, they are unbelievable. Bringing Jonathan on, which I don't know when this is going to be launching, because I'm making this video before Christmas, because I'm going to be out of town during the 1st. So we also have very exciting news to announce about investments and a future RIA. So stay tuned for that. And then also, like, we've been approached by a lot of people in our space. If you're a financial advisor, if you're an agent, if you're someone in the financial services business, like, there is a way Q1 that we're going to start partnering with someone. Like, I can't announce it quite yet, but I'm very excited about the course/mastermind that we are going to be launching. And it's just because I think people have seen, they're like, okay, Caleb looks like he's 15 years old. How in the world are they able to produce and create this much output? Now, a lot of times people don't see the amazing team behind, but like, how in the world does someone even create a team? How do you scale? How do you tap into technology? Like, we were doing this whole virtual meeting before COVID. Like, how do you scale? Like, how do you get multiple people to, like, how do you build a sales team? And so we are actually going to be launching a 6 weeks to scale course for people in our business. And we're going to be talking about, obviously start with the end in mind, clarity, but then we're going to be uncovering all of what we're doing marketing wise and really pulling back the curtain there. We're going to be talking about how we've built a sales team. We're going to give a whole playbook, a virtual playbook, which is going to be like from beginning to end, all the things that we use technology wise. Then we're going to be talking about building a team, like how to have a good relationship with an assistant, virtual assistants, how to work with a team just internally, virtual and in person, and really build a playbook. And then we're going to talk about scale, because scale is one of the most, things I get most fired up about. A lot of people in our business sell this like, hey, be successful so you don't have to work. Never, ever resonated with me. The reason I love scaling is you have to get out of your own way. For us to actually have the impact that we want, I can't be the person. And so by scaling, it's actually freed up time. Now I'm taking that time and I'm putting it in other things to further grow. But could I take a step back and BetterWealth as a company continues to grow? Absolutely. So we're far from perfect, but we're already getting to that. And so what I want to do is share that with financial advisors, because if you talk about marketing, if you talk about technology, if you talk about sales, if you talk about building a team, if you talk about scaling, these are all areas where people can grow in. And so very excited about bringing that to the market. And by the way, if any of this sounds, if any of this sounds interesting to you, you can always email me at caleb@betterwealth.com. It's caleb@betterwealth.com. Or you can go to betterwealthpodcast.com, where we are right now. It's just a compilation of just top podcasts that I've done, but we're also going to make that a place where people can take action and really reach out to us. So if you're listening to this, or if you're watching this on YouTube and like, hey, I want to tap into Better Wealth, whether you're a financial advisor, an agent, or whether you're a consumer, make sure to reach out to us, because by you hearing this, you're very much going to get on the inside track as we build in 2021. And so the agent course is what that's going to lead into, is just an ability for people to have access to our team and to have, hopefully we can meet soon, but just have access to, everybody that's building Better Wealth, but then also have access to some of the best training in the industry. And so stay tuned to that. If you're an agent and advisor and want to learn more, reach out or go to betterwealthpodcast.com. The next thing that I want to talk about is the And Asset movie. Now, I've had Jason Rink on the show twice already. We did one, I think, 2 weeks before Christmas, or maybe a week before Christmas, and we just talked about where we are with the podcast, or with the And Asset movie. One of the things I'm very, very excited about is we're going to be in Wisconsin right before the first, filming, my family. We're filming some experts. We're actually filming Gregg's story as well. We're going to look at the chicken farm, just so I can actually show you, like, this is a real thing. I'm going to go to some other places as a kid, go to my college. So I'm repping right now, UW Stevens Point, and just to show, just get a little bit of context of that. So the And Asset movie will be released in 2021. If it's not, I'm not going to be a happy camper. Let's just put it that way. Like, it's very, like, this thing is going to be the ripple effect. And I've always said it will be successful if it can very much drive attention. And trust me, we're going to drive just as much criticism as we're going to drive praise. But I want people to understand, number one, ROR. What are you actually doing to get the results that you want? And number two, life insurance, while it's not an investment, is an amazing foundational asset to own. Whether you're just someone that wants to max out a 401k, like, we can show you how you can have more income. Whether you're an entrepreneur, we can show you how you can store capital and have a place that you can tap into liquidity-wise to invest in yourself or your business, or show someone nearing retirement or in retirement how they can be more efficient and get more cash flow and create more certainty. So regardless of where you are, like, that's a huge deal. And up until this point, there's been so many poor publicity, and there's been so much poor communication about life insurance. And what it usually happens is, I would need to talk bad about the government. I need to talk bad about investments. I need to talk bad about something to raise something out, because life insurance is not that exciting. But if we take a step back and say, what about result? Like, what result do I want? Like, no one wants a drill. They want the hole that it produces. And so what if we took a step back and said, what if you wanted a result? What if you got clear on that? And what if we could show you a better way to be more efficient? And, oh, by the way, look at where our government's going. And, oh, look, by the way, that there's certain investments. And look, like, people are skeptical, but the last thing I want to do is try to badmouth people to try to spread light on something that I think is good. So we're going to be taking a efficiency approach and covering all three of those scenarios. Whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you're in retirement, like, you're going to benefit from this movie. And I always joke with the team, you'll know it's a smashing success if I can be on Joe Rogan in the next year or two. So, Joe, I know you're not watching this, but if you are, I would love to be on your show and talk about retirement income, talk about the better ways that America could use to have more certainty as it relates to handling their money today and living more intentionally for the future. And so that's kind of like the overarching, it would be amazing if I could get that publicity, but the movie is really much going to be share the message and have people come in and then be able to serve them well. And everyone's in a different situation. And so the movie is going to happen in 2021. We are also actually implementing, and this is more of an internal deal, but I'm sharing this because I think some of you can learn, whether it's personally or in your business. We are going to be implementing EOS for real. And EOS stands for Entrepreneur Operating System. And we just want to be more effective as a team. As we've grown from, a couple people to 16 and counting, like, we have great culture, we have a lot of vision, and I think sometimes we lack on actually executing some of the things that I'm sharing with you. And so Dan has been really, he's taken the charge on that, and we are implementing systems there. And again, 2020 has had some of those systems. 2021 is going to be the year that we really dial those in, and we will be the company that not just talks, but also executes. And here's the quote that goes along with EOS and being able to execute on some of the things is talk is cheap because there's more supply than demand. So I'll say that quote again. I don't know who to give praise to that, because I heard that from somebody, but talk is cheap because there's more supply than demand. So there's one thing if we're all talking like, hey, this is what we're going to do in 2021. This is what we're going to do. We're going to lose weight. We're going to save more money. We're going to grow our business. But if we don't actually have an ability to back that up, you're just talking, you're making yourself feel good, but 3 weeks from now, everything is going to go back to the same. And so EOS for us is to say, we want to be the company that is optimistic. We want to be the company that is passionate. We want to be the company that serves powerfully. And we want to be the company that actually can get our stuff done. So EOS is that internal mechanism. And so regardless of who's listening to this, what is that thing that needs to be in place to actually keep you accountable to do what you say you need to do? Last two things. Financial X-ray. Financial X-ray is going to be the one-stop shop where we're going to serve people in the future. So right now, there's so many ways that people can connect with us. They can give us a clarity call. They can, obviously we're still going to be engaging on social media and YouTube, but like there's people can email us and all these things. And so we just have people calling and there's just, it's like people like maybe wants an and asset or whatever. And so we're going to be very clear that yes, if you want an and asset, if you want an annuity, if you want investments, if you want certain stuff, like just like everybody else, like we can do that, but that doesn't make us special. What actually makes us special is being able to show you a diagnosis, to actually show you what's going on and then give you a prescription, not necessarily saying like, this is what you need to do, but these are the next steps that need to happen before you really dial in your financial life. This idea of the X-ray became really powerful for me when I went to the chiropractor a couple months ago, and I was feeling great. I went because one of actually Mariah and Trevor was like, Caleb, we have a really holistic person that I think would just be great for you to meet this person. So I went in, I paid a couple $100 to go through like their X-ray / like 3 sessions, and just again, like wanted, I'm always looking to optimize. And so what's interesting is most people go to the doctor or chiropractor or the dentist when there's something wrong. But I just went because I want to be as optimized as possible. And so I go in, I answer questions. They ask a lot of questions about where I'm currently at and how I'm feeling. And then they get the X-ray. And then, so I thought I was totally good. And then I saw what's actually going on. I'm like, oh my goodness, that can't be my body. Like that can't be my X-ray of what's going on. And this doctor who I want to have on our show sometime this year showed me what's actually going on and explained to me where I'm currently at. There was no selling at all. He showed me exactly what's going on and showed me where I should be. And like I said, I walked in very skeptical and being like, you know what, I'm going to be in and out and I'm not going to become a client because I don't need this person's help. And I became one of the biggest believers and also have had the results of being healthier and learned so much about things like the Atlas and other things that are just really, really incredible. But the X-ray, like there's something that went off in my head that's like, people are coming to us because they might like how I communicate. They might like the book. They might have met someone from our team. You've maybe been referred to somebody. And it's like, okay, we can talk about certain things, but we're actually not best serving you if we're not seeking first to understand. And so this financial X-ray, you guys, is going to be the one-stop shop that if I know someone's purpose, if I know someone's why, if I know what they want, and I know their cash flow, their assets, and their debts. So if I know what you want and I know those 3 things, I can dial in and start highlighting areas that you can be more efficient. We can start highlighting, is this person properly protected? Is this person maximizing what they need to be maximizing? Is this person best paying off their debt that they need to pay off? You can learn so much about somebody, and we can be so valuable because then we can give that person a report that tells them exactly, like you can't necessarily give advice on this call, but you can highlight, these are areas that you need to work on. Like you might be devaluing your greatest asset, which is yourself. You may have all your money in a certain account that may or may not be getting you the result that you want. You may be paying off debts inefficiently. You may be overpaying on your property and casualty and home insurance. You may, like, there's so many areas, like we find people so much money when they work with us, not even from the in quote unquote investment side. Like we show people so much money, period. And so that just fires me up because it's like, if we can show somebody and give them quick wins, like we're building rapport, and then we can share with them, this is how we can best serve you. Like hey, we've highlighted that you need an and asset. Like this is something that you probably should have. And you can get that from us, or you can go into our coaching. And that's the last thing that I'm going to say is the X-ray is going to be the one-stop shop for our clients, people that want to help us share the message, which, by the way, if you identify that, if you're a client of ours, if you're someone that like they're like, I like this idea of helping people unlock intentional living, and I want to like help you get the word out. Please reach out to me, or go to betterwealthpodcast.com, because we quarter two of 2021 is going to be really being intentional about building our ambassador program, because we've had so many people wanting to serve, help us share our message, serve our community, and we just haven't had a good way up until now to have that. And the X-ray is really going to be the one-stop shop for those people, and we're going to give any ambassador that wants to help us share the message a discount. So anyone that goes through the X-ray, because the X-ray is going to be paid, the people that go through with an ambassador will have a discounted access, because we really want to build we really want to build a win-win scenario, and thank the people that are willing to get behind our message. And then finally, it's unlimited, and unlimited is just going to get more expensive for the coaching. So everyone that has been our client, who's gotten unlimited up until this point, and really this is going to be implemented in a few months, has been grandfathered in, and everything that happens from now on, they're going to be grandfathered in. But going forward, we realize that this idea of lifetime coaching has to have an upfront and an ongoing deal. And so, starting April 1st, that's when the launch date is. Unlimited is going to look different from a like a monthly standpoint. And again, everyone that's been with us is going to be grandfathered in. But everyone going forward, it's going to look different, because there's just a lot of work that goes in, and a lot of good stuff. And not everyone needs that one-on-one coaching, but the people that do that and the model, it's just really neat to see the kind of results we're getting our clients. And it's really, really exciting. So with that, let me just summarize. So if you want to help us share our message and want to learn more about the ambassador program, email me at caleb@betterwealth.com, or go to betterwealthpodcast.com, and hopefully we'll have something where you can say that, because anybody that wants to help us share our message, I want to hear from you. I just, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I'm so excited. You guys are going to make 2021 amazing. Number 2 is the agent course. If you are a financial advisor, if you're someone that is seeing what we're doing at BetterWealth and is attracted to that and wants to learn how you can scale and wants to just see what we're actually doing and create your own playbooks, reach out to me. Go to betterwealthpodcast.com. We want to hear from you. Number 3, the movie. No call to action other than my hope is it's amazing and it will be done soon. And you can hold me accountable to that. Number 3 is EOS. It's our version of actually keeping us accountable, and is absolutely necessary to get the kind of results that we want to get. Number 5 is the X-ray. And the X-ray is the one-stop shop for people that come into BetterWealth. It's our way to serve up front, but it's going to be the tool that ambassadors use, because at the end of the day, you can talk about the ANDAS, you can talk about all these things, but if we're not going to be the company that diagnoses, goes under the hood, actually sees what's going on, we're wasting everybody's time. And so that's the best way to serve. It does take some time up front. It does take some investment up front, but we just pretty much asked our team, how can we serve people in a powerful way? And this was the answer. And then unlimited, April 1st is when we're hoping to launch that new version. Everybody who's going to be grandfathered in, that's a part of our BetterWealth family. But people going forward, it's just going to be a better win-win scenario. So it's sustainable for us, and it's also super valuable for anyone that wants that one-on-one extra touch in coaching and the model. Thank you so much. 2021 is going to be probably another crazy year. But again, I have to just remind myself why we do this. And I'll just end with this. In just thinking back on this year and preparing for the movie, and just actually spending some time with Heather, and I've just been reminded of why we do this. One of Gregg Hielema's last words to me, and he was the guy that helped me co-found BetterWealth and was one of my first clients, died of cancer, leaving his family, and thank goodness that they had the proper life insurance planning. But he said this was one of his last words to me. He said, "Caleb, don't forget the reason why we started." And he said that because I was in the midst of okay, so many opportunities, there's so many things, I was getting overwhelmed and I was focusing on the wrong metric. And so regardless of what your plan is for 2021, I want to remind you this. Don't forget the reason why you're doing X. Don't forget the reason why you got married in the first place. Don't forget the reason why you became a parent in the first place. Don't forget the reason why you started your business in the first place. Don't forget the reason why you went to school first. I just want to share that, because sometimes we can get focused on the wrong metric. It happens all the time. But at the end of the day, I feel so aligned with what we're doing. And it also can help me walk confidently, because my hope, I'm sharing with you what we want to do. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to compromise on what we need to do. And that's to serve people and unlock intentional living. So with that, have an amazing 2021. It's going to be a crazy year. I feel so grateful to be along with you. I feel so grateful for your support. BetterWealthPodcast.com is where you can check us out. You can email me personally at caleb@betterwealth.com. Have an amazing 2021. Thank you so much for listening to the Better Wealth Podcast. It would mean the world to me if you could hit subscribe, leave a review, and share this with the people that you know and love.